Signore e signori,
dichiaro aperta la celebrazione Giochi Olimpici Invernali.
Si sta avvicinando allo stadio.
Forza, forza! Dai, 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 dai! Record della pista! Record della pista! Prima!
Buongiorno and welcome to Keep the Flame Alive's Day -2 coverage of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympic Games. I am your host, Jill Jaracz, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, ciao. Come stai?
Stai bene?
We made it.
We made it, and we made it with our extremely limited Italian, and we're still doing okay. Mi dispiace gets you far, I have discovered.
So yes, we have made it to Milan. Compared to Paris, we have great accommodations.
This is the penthouse suite compared to Paris. No, we have a great little apartment. It's a good amount of space. It's in a great location. We're nice and safe and comfortable and can get our work done, and we're not going to pass out or catch any diseases or
kill each other.
Or kill each other because we are literally on top of each other in bunk beds.
That's right. And we're near a grocery store. We're like a 15-minute walk from the main press center. So if we need to get there, that's fantastic. So much appreciated on this. What's your initial impression of the city?
Well, it's a city that loves its dogs. So I'm pretty happy. There are dogs everywhere. They're on the street. They are on the subways. They are in the stores. So I'm a happy woman with all these dogs. They love their dogs here. And they have these water fountains. Have you noticed those?
The water fountains on the streets?
On the street.
Yes. Where
it not only has a water fountain, it has a little bowl in the bottom designed to keep the dogs well hydrated. So yes, so far, this is a great city.
Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what to expect, and I feel very comfortable here. This feels very familiar. I mean, I spent time in Germany and Austria. This kind of feels like one of those cities, and don't at me, Italians, for saying that. But it's, there's an industrialness a little bit to this. There's a ton of graffiti, which makes me feel like this is like Berlin, even though I haven't been to Berlin in ages, but tons of graffiti everywhere. But at the same time, I see what you were talking about a couple of episodes ago when you went to that cultural event in New York.
When they were talking about how Milano is a very modern city. It is, of course, steeped in history. We walked through the Castello earlier in the week, but they're really focused on the future and where the city is going in the future. So it feels almost American in that way.
Yeah, kind of. So it's got a lot of design elements as well, and just kind of everywhere you turn is something else that's surprising and surprisingly cool. And one of the things that's cool that we got to go to yesterday was the opening of this art exhibit, La Alchemy by Kiefer.
Yes. At Museo Castello. So it's in the museum of the castle. And talk about a modern art exhibit. It was these, how do you would describe them? They were 20-foot tall panels and about 40 or so of them.
Yeah, 38, I think the thing said.
It was enormous, and they were all women from history, most of whom I did not recognize, but that the artist referred to as alchemists in some way changing the culture of her time. And it was certainly like nothing I've ever seen before.
Oh, yeah. It was just unreal how enormous these paintings were. And this show is designed specifically for this space. And so if it's planned through September, basically. So if you're deciding to come to Milano, check that out for sure, because it's just the magnitude and the scope and just the feeling you get. You said you could still smell the paint.
I felt like I could, because the thickness of the paint, the way that she used it was more like a tool rather than a medium, because it was so thick that she was sculpting it.
Yeah. Also Grandin Scope, the Megastore.
Megastore. And surprisingly, we've been to several stores because we've been to the store at the main press center. We've been to the Megastore. We were in the little corner of the department store. And then another store that was in a second section near the Duomo, was it? No, near the Arca della Pace.
Yes.
There's a lot of Olympic stores.
Right. And there's one more that you haven't been to, but I've been to further away from the Duomo.
So the main one is a mega store. It is not as mega as the Paris store.
You think so? Well, the Paris store was wide and this is long.
Okay, fair. And the Paris store felt more established. This feels a little bit more like they just threw it together.
Oh, okay. I would not agree, but it's interesting because they have women's clothes on one side and men's clothes on the other. And I think the organization is very good and tons of stuff that we hadn't seen before.
But not many Tinas.
No, Tina is going.
Tina is gone.
Which is surprising. And I will say that the big Tina and Milo's, which would be like the standard size mascot, I would say. There's like a teeny tiny one. There's a little bit bigger one. And then there's a regular size. And that's going for like 55, 60 euros, which to me is quite expensive.
Definitely more expensive than we saw in either Paris or Beijing.
Right.
For kind of that standard size mascot that you'd assume that you'd want to take home.
Yeah. And we also have stuffed animal versions of the Flo.
Very cute.
Very cute. Lots of ones to choose from. But the one that was really hanging out in the bins was poor anxious Flo.
Anxious Flo needs a home. And I think everyone should go and order Anxious Flo and give that poor girl a home because that flower is very scared.
There's a Milano Cortina sweater that is very cool that I managed to snag, and we have found out that the price has gone up on that one too. It was in the Megastore when I first arrived, and for 55 euros, I got it at Yamame, which also sells official clothing. I got it there for 40. And listener Charlotte sent us a picture and went, "Oh, that sweater's 70 now."
Yeah, I think that sweater is going fast, and they realized they could get a few extra euro for it. Exactly. I mean, it actually was quite a bargain at 40 euros.
It was a bargain.
It's a nice sweater.
So I will be wearing that for sure. There's a lot of Milano and Cortina versions of things where they have the geographical coordinates of the city or the town. And then there's like a jacket with the coordinates on the front, and on the back is a topographical map of Cortina for that one, or like a city map of Milan. It's very cool.
And then Milan is turquoise and the mountain ones are pink.
Yes.
So they use the colors that are in all the various emblems as well. Very well. Mm-hmm. They're really bringing out those colors that we saw just in the beginning and saying, oh, now this is how they're using them.
Yeah, so very, very cool. Some whole range of figurines, which surprised me.
Yes, they looked very 1950s. I think that's a bit of a throwback to 1956, Cortina d'Ampezzo. And they did look like something that would be in your grandma's house, of different winter sports and scenes. So these little ceramic knickknacks, for lack of a better word, that you can get a whole collection of them.
Lots of hats.
You got sucked into a hat.
I did get sucked into a pictogram ball cap, which the first time I saw it was at the media official store. And I bought mine yesterday. And today we only saw a couple left. So that may be going as well.
Yeah, and there was a sweater at the media store, or rather at the store in the media center, that I was eyeing that we hadn't seen anywhere else. So I may scoop that up as my souvenir.
But lots of fun hats as well, winter caps. There's some IOC wear here as well, which is cool. There's a throwback version of the 1956 Cortina little collection in clothing, bunch of notebooks, hockey pucks, magnets, the usual stuff. Snow globes, which are kind of nice.
And the snow globe comes up later. We'll talk about that when we talk about the Duomo.
And the entire Team Italia Armani kit is here if you would like it, and it's nice. It is made me want to be an Olympian.
Made you want to be an Italian.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, an Italian Olympian, because then it just gives to you. It gets given.
It's pretty sweet.
So, so the mega store is interesting. I'll be curious to walk by there in a couple days and see what the lines are like and what, if you get in, like what the stock is, because they're gonna run out of stuff. They have, if you were in Paris and saw all those pictogram T-shirts, they have pictogram T-shirts here, but the pictogram is on the back, and that's kind of cool as well.
And they have one that I also liked that was a long sleeve version with all the pictograms. They did have a version of that at Paris in a short sleeve, but obviously for winter it made more sense to make it a long sleeve T-shirt. So that also might come home with me.
Transport?
Pretty good, except when I listen to you about which direction I should go on the tram.
Okay, so we have metros, subways, we have tram options, and we have buses. We haven't been on a bus yet. We've been on the metro, and we have been on trams, and I love a good tram. And there are futuristic trams, modern trams, and then there are wooden trams that are throwback old school. They are fantastic. I love them.
You never know what kind of tram is going to show up. But the problem with that is in the old trams, there's no announcing. There's no visual display. You just got to hope you can find your stop.
And I have had to get on and off many a tram because I went the wrong direction.
But that's okay. I can't say anything because I have just been head empty, allowing you to figure out where we have to go. So I can't complain. So last night we were coming home from dinner. We got on the tram, realized we were going the wrong way, and then realized we were on an express. But the express went so far, it basically turned around to going the right way.
Yes.
So it all worked out. You took us on a new adventure. And we ended up getting home, so it was fine.
It's kind of like when we were in Beijing and you saw a new half a block in the closed loop, and you were like, what? This is new. It's fantastic.
Well, this was a lot more than a half a block, though.
Yes. So, and one of the things we saw, and this is kind of in the big Duomo Plaza area as well, there's a lot of stuff around here for the games. A lot of signage, a lot of ads, a lot of stores that have displays, which are really cool. And Eli Lilly has sponsored this, and also Prosecco has sponsored one that are on different streets. They are LED rope light versions of the pictograms hung up kind of like Christmas lights. And they're just, you walk down a long street and you go through all of the pictograms for both Olympics and Paralympics.
So it's just hanging above the street, suspended in the air. So it just looks like these lights are floating. And they're all white, so they're very striking and quite bright and really beautiful. And just, there's more than one set of them we've discovered in our adventures. We've at least found 3 different sets of these lights, so it's not just a one and done.
It throws me off directionally.
Because you didn't realize there was more than one. So the first time you saw it again, you said, wait, this is our stop, but it's not our stop, but the lights are here. So now we know the lights are not a guidance. Do not follow the light, dear.
The other transportation stuff that we have spent hours already working on is figuring out where we can go beyond Milano.
Can we get to the mountain will the mountain win? And the answer is part of the mountain has won.
Yes. So we have found out that we have figured out that we can go to Bormio.
Yes.
We can go to Livigno.
Yes.
Not on the same day. Everything is a one-day trip.
Yes.
I will get to Tesoro on the one day where you can go to Tesoro and get there. Oh my gosh. I really want to know what happened in the planning meetings with the train companies and the transportation people here with Milano Cortina, because to get to Tesoro to see cross country, I have to take a train. I forget, maybe to Verona, and then you take a bus or trains up north to the mountains. Well, you arrive in Tesoro at 1:20 in the afternoon. The cross-country competition starts at 1 o'clock. And it's like, how is this okay? Because that's when you get there. But it's a 10K. I'm hoping to see Bruna Moura, our Brazilian Shukflastani. And hopefully I'll get to see something of her race.
You might meet her in the mix zone after, and that'll be it. Yeah, so we will not likely get to Cortina unless we make some other arrangements.
Right. If the budget allows, that's basically it. If the budget allows and we can get a hotel room, not necessarily in Cortina, it could be on the way, it could be in Venice. But to get to Cortina and back in one day is like a 6-hour multi-leg journey there. You can stay 2 hours and then you have to come home. So it ain't happening unless we can get further towards Cortina.
So that eliminates, unfortunately, all our sliding friends. So we're hoping that we'll make that work in some fashion, but we won't know that probably until towards the latter half of the games.
Right. We have seen the countdown clock.
It's counting down.
When we saw it last night, I was like, "Ooh, wait! It's going to flip over to 2."
It wasn't that late.
But it's there. It's a big 2-6 in a snow globe type situation, but it's a square snow globe, and Omega sponsors that. I have seen the Omega Pavilion. That is, all these sponsor pavilions were still being built.
A lot of things are still being built. So the fan zones were still being put together. The pavilions were still being put together. So one of them was Alibaba, that had this enormous snow globe we mentioned at the top of the show that they're projecting videos on so far. We'll have to see where that actually goes when they're finished with that pavilion.
Mm-hmm. Alfa Romeo and Fiat, that whole family of cars, they have a pavilion that we couldn't see much of. And Esselunga, the grocery store chain here, they have a pavilion. Both of those pavilions are within the castle walls, which is kind of cool. And when we say pavilion, this is just going to not help. But if you've ever been to Oktoberfest in Munich, and they build these temporary buildings, and when we were in Beijing, all these temporary buildings got built. These are big, massive structures. Esselunga's has a staircase on the outside that you go in.
And metallic sheeting covering the whole thing. Coca-Cola also has a tremendous pavilion, larger than most of the others. So we'll have to see what that's going to be like.
So very exciting. The fan zone will do kind of that champions walk. Well, it's not really a walk. They have a stage, but in Paris, when they had a whole celebration every night where athletes came and got to walk a runway and get another round of adulation and appreciation, they're going to repeat that concept here just with a stage. So that'll be kind of interesting.
And it'll be interesting because likely those would just be the Milan. I mean, all athletes will have access to it, but I don't know how many of the mountain athletes will come down.
Right. And they may be in the fan zone in their
cluster.
Yes. We have seen the cauldron.
We have, and it's so interesting the way that they're constructing it. And it is absolutely true. Once they started constructing it, there was going to be no hiding it, unless they spent a tremendous amount of money putting up scaffolding and sheeting, because it's a complex, large structure underneath the Arco della Pace. But they're also lighting it up already. Mm-hmm. So even if you wanted to be a little shy, it is not a shy cauldron. It's already got neon lights on it flashing at you.
Well, they're kind of running along. Like, I believe these, the flame will be in the center, and it's going to be a small flame. It's not huge. And around it are these concentric circles that are supposed to move.
They're supposed to expand and contract because they're based
Yes.
on these links first designed by Da Vinci, and turn as well. So I think the idea is it will expand and rotate and contract and rotate so that the whole thing, the flame actually, I think, looks like the fixed point. So that will stay the same. And then these circles will expand and contract around it. Now, if each of those arms is lit with the neon light, and it's all a reflective material, that's going to make the cauldron look much larger than that small flame that we can see. It seems to be what that bowl size piece is.
Right. And so the circles are lined with lights that change color.
Yes.
So it's kind of a running light look. And I'm going to be curious to see what the final image is. There's other lights set up on the ground so far. And we know there's going to be a light show, kind of like every hour on the hour.
Yes. And I believe music as well is planned for that. So it's a whole thing like when they do the twinkling lights on the Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm. So I am curious to see what that will be like. I think it will be a big draw because people were already just standing there watching the construction. And also in the Arco della Pace area is Clubhouse 26.
In multiple buildings, it seemed like.
Yes, the On Location Hospitality Club is right there. You get kind of a bird's eye view onto the torch, which is pretty cool. So we should be able to access that at some point.
Yes, we have our friends at On Location who are going to hook us up with a little time in there, which is pretty fantastic.
Other hospitality houses. There are quite a few hospitality houses in Milano. Some are free, some are paid. So we're going to try to hit up all the free ones, except for we already got rejected from China House.
Yeah, some of the free ones ask you to register ahead of time, and China House said no. We don't want you people. No, they said no, we already have so many requests that we can't accept anymore. And we may be able to try and sign up for a different time slot for China House. It may have just been that time slot was full. So we'll keep checking that and seeing if other time slots become available for them. So we stopped by Casa Svizzero.
House of Switzerland.
Svizzero, that's what it is.
And, this is a free house, and it takes up like 2 buildings plus a courtyard between them. And you walk in, and there is like a model train set up.
And you can drive the Swiss trains,
Yeah.
which was fun. And they have a big bowl of Lindt chocolates.
Also fun.
Also very fun. They also had some virtual reality train rides, which for some reason I failed at completely. They kept trying to make it work for me until finally I had to say basta. And it was just not. She must have tried, 6 times to get that to work for me?
Yes, tried so hard. And also in the front house of the 2-house setup is a bar and dining area for paid food. And then you go out into a courtyard, and they've got a little stage, little gazebo-like stage there, and some seating. And when we were there, we caught the very tail end of the Swiss horn blower show.
Like the Ricola commercial.
Yes. So we've got a little clip of that. And then the back area was a private party. You needed a wristband for that section. And they had a food truck for them back there. So I don't know if that stays or not.
Right. I don't know if that was paid or just for special guests. That wasn't clear as to who was going in, but we did not have a blue wristband. So who was going in? Not us.
Right. And they also had a little swatch display. So that was cool. I thought it was really nice for free.
It's nice. It's open. They have lots of things there, obviously promoting Switzerland. They have a wall there that they had marked as the Swiss medal wall. So when there are some Swiss medals, the athletes' pictures will be going up on that wall, and I'm sure they'll be feted and celebrated there. And that's what the houses are for, to celebrate the country and its athletes.
So very cool. And we've got more houses to go on the list. How has the food been so far? Because everyone is usually Italian food. Come on.
So mostly we've been eating from the grocery store, which has actually been quite nice.
It has been nice.
Not going to argue with that.
Fresh prosciutto, fresh bread.
We've gone out to a couple of restaurants and all good so far.
Yeah, and I went out before you got here, Nicholas Wolliver and Nicholas is from Olympic Rings and Other Things, and he'll show up in our Facebook group, which is Keep the Flame Alive podcast. And we went to dinner at this place called Charleston. And then when you came in, we all met at the art exhibit last night, and we went back to Charleston.
It was right there.
And the maitre d's like, next time you bring 4 people.
We'll just collect people along the
Right,
way.
and
So
go back.
listeners, you can let them know you're the 4th person coming.
Right. So I tried turnip tops as an appetizer, which it was sauteed turnip tops. They were quite good.
I didn't even know turnips had tops.
And I had the risotto alla Milanese with some sausage in it, which was quite tasty. And then also had, the second time had this lasagna, which Nicholas had the first time, and it was really, really light.
I saw the man who was making the pizzas, and I'm just going to call him Giacomo because he looked like a Giacomo to me. And I said, that's what I'm getting. I want that man making me a pizza. And it was perfection.
So far, so good. I went to an aperitivo, which is you go get a cocktail and then they have snacks that they bring out to you too. So I had a little bowl of chips and then like some finger foods, and it was quite good. And I also walked around Chinatown, which is not that far from our Shuklistan house, and got a bunch of street food to eat. I had a bao, which was okay. That wasn't great. And then they had all these skewer stores, which is like it's just a storefront. You can basically walk a couple feet into it and you face a big, giant refrigerated deli case, and it's full of buckets of skewers, and you pick what you want, you take them to the counter and they fry them for you, and that's it. You're eating on the street. It's great. So I had a potato tornado, which was one of those spiral cut potatoes.
Oh, that is a perfect name for it. How have you not called it that before?
And then some zucchini. Yes, it's delicious. So that was a lot of fun too. And Lunar New Year is coming up, so I'm curious to see what they do. They've got lights already. We've seen the red lanterns down the street, and they've got some lights that look like they're going to be pretty sweet. But Chinatown was bumping on a Saturday night. Let's see. We also... as in Paris, we had Paris had a city media center. Milano also has a city media center. So that is from the tourism board, which is called Yes Milano. So just so you know, in the future, we'll just say the Yes Milano Media Center. Went there. It's small, but it's part of the Chamber of Commerce, I believe. And you walked up the staircase and are immediately greeted by this beautiful stained glass.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a Picasso stained glass mural. It's not Picasso, but it had that very, or Chagall, this very abstract, modern look to it. So I'm so curious to find out more about that stained glass.
Yeah, so they'll have press conferences and events, and they've got a little workroom. So I'm really excited to see and learn more about the city.
And more importantly, they're giving us cake tomorrow. They are giving us the official cake of Milan. So we'll let you know about that.
Exactly. So that's been pretty much it for what we've done so far. It's been a lot of logistics.
A lot of at the main media center saying, wait, is that at 11 or is that 12? Or which island is that on? And
if you've seen our Facebook group, we've run into Tom Kelly, who we just had on the show. It was so fun to see him in person.
And of course, he said there's a million things he thought of after he was on the show, because the news, as we'll mention in a second, has changed significantly, even just a few days ago.
Right. And before we get to today's schedule, we'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who donated to our fundraiser to get us here. And if you just found the podcast, we are doing 32 daily episodes from Milano Cortina over the course of the games, which frankly is expensive to produce. And we're also one of the few podcasts to publish episodes year-round. So we need help in keeping our flame alive. Go to flamealivepod.com/support if you appreciate this coverage. We have options for one-off donations. And if you would like to become an ongoing patron, we offer special patron-only exclusives throughout the games. All paid patrons get an exclusive photo of the day. The silver medal level and up also get video, and gold members and up get extra audio content throughout the games. So if you appreciate the independent voice we bring, please consider supporting us today. That's at flamealivepod.com/support. All right, on to the schedule for today.
Not a lot of sports going on. No. Actually, one, but we do have some other news.
Right. So Alpine skiing has been big news here.
So they had raining runs today, but that even wasn't the big news. So Lindsey Vonn was injured in her last race before the Olympics. She ruptured her ACL, but she announced she's planning to go. And that is some wild idea. She is basically going to race on one leg.
It's amazing. Yeah. And she said the U.S. ski team had a press conference, and Lindsey was up for a chunk of it and was very matter of fact and very aware of what her body felt like. And she said a lot of, well, yeah, it's ruptured, but I've got a brace on and it feels pretty stable. And if I can race on it, good. And she has said that before she's crashed like this and felt the Olympic dream slipping out of her fingers, and she didn't feel that this time around.
She feels like she's strong enough to go. So, she's been through it in terms of injuries over her career. So you've got to trust that she knows what she's doing. And she, this season, has already proved herself. I mean, she's already won 2 World Cup races. So we know that this is not just a pipe dream in terms of being at the top of her game for this downhill. So we are pulling for her to see her in this race. That is for sure. Exactly.
Also, a really tough injury notification that came was Canada's Deanna Stellato-Dudek.
We know nothing other than that she was hurt and that she and her partner Maxime Deschamps have pulled out of the team competition for Canada. So they're not here. They are not practicing. We don't know anything else.
Right. We're waiting for the information. So hopefully she'll be able to be okay as well. We don't even know the extent of the injury or what happened. And it was an accident that happened during training. And those are the hardest ones to get.
Yes. On a happier note.
Yeah. Back to one little bit on alpine skiing. If you're watching the feeds at home, the men's alpine training run, the downhill run was on the feed today, which was very, very cool. The course looks so hard.
And so long. It's,
yes.
What did they say, 3 kilometers long?
Yes.
So it's much longer. We're going to be seeing times over 2 minutes.
So the women's first training run is supposed to be tomorrow, the 5th, and that has been canceled. So that was going to be kind of Lindsey's first look at how her knee is holding up, but we're going to have to wait another day to find out. But we did have actual competition today. Curling started, mixed doubles, round robin, session 1. We had Sweden beat Korea 10-3. Great Britain beat Norway 8-6. Canada beat Czechia 10-5. And Switzerland beat Estonia 9-7. This session was not without hiccups because the electricity went off right in the beginning.
All of a sudden we got back to the apartment and we turned on the feed. We're like, oh yay, we'll have some dinner and we'll watch the feed. And then it just went dark.
Right.
And literally all the lights in the arena went out and everybody sort of giggled a bit like what just happened? So hiccups all around. They got it squared away and continued onward.
Right. So, it was funny because we were watching the Great Britain Norway feed with Scottish commentary.
And he knew just what to say.
Well, and he also was a little worried that whatever the electricity problem was, if the lights were out for a while, if the same electrical system also kept the ice cool, what would that do to the ice? So hopefully they've got that worked out and figured out what was wrong. So that's end of day -2. We have a little bit more action tomorrow.
Not much. There'll be hockey added in, but we should be able to get out there this time.
So that'll be fun to see what is going on with the hockey arena. Women's hockey starts tomorrow, so we aren't going to be in the brand new arena that they constructed. We're going to be at a different one. So haven't been to the new arena yet. I haven't really heard, but I think it's pretty much like that story's over.
I think it's as good as it's going to be, and they got it together. That seems to be the theme of this game. Somehow they're getting it together at the last minute.
Right. So before we go, we've got shout outs.
Peter Leinemann from Leipzig, Germany. Peter is a Milano and says, "Let's go Germany, keeping our fingers crossed."
Right, because we asked in our donation whether or not you were a Milano or a Cortina. So we have a first Milano. Olympic Painters. Look this up. There was a Lineman. There's Conrad Lineman who played beach volleyball for Canada at Sydney 2000. But I'd like to keep it winter games. And Peter, I did find Peter Liebers, a figure skater who competed at Sochi 2014 in the men's and the team competition, finished 8th in both. And what the other detail that dazzled me was he was born in April 1988, which in East Berlin, just before the wall fell down.
It was
89 when the wall went down. So yeah.
I was going to say, was he responsible? Was his birth responsible?
No,
was he like the golden child or something?
So. He was the 8th child. So, Peter, thank you so much for your donation and for keeping our flame alive. And that's going to do it for this episode. If you want even more of the most fun coverage of the games, we have options.
Yes, you can join up on our Facebook group, Keep the Flame Alive Podcast. You can get a hold of our Substack newsletter, at flamealivepod.substack.com. We are on Insta, X, Facebook, and YouTube at Flame Alive Pod. And for Patreons, you'll get all that bonus good stuff that Jill mentioned earlier. And that's flamealivepod.com/support.
And we do love hearing from you. You can hit us up on our social channels. You can email us at flamealivepod@gmail.com. You can also send us a voice memo if you want, or call our voicemail line at +1 208 flame it. That's 208-352-6348. We may read your note or play your voicemail on the show. And we will be back tomorrow with day -1 action from Milano Cortina. Grazie mille per l'ascolto.
And until next time, ciao and keep the flame alive.